Good afternoon. My name is Tammy, and I'd like to welcome everyone to Fly's Unique Boutique. This is my small little corner of Berwick, Maine, where I talk about my cross stitch, my quilting, and whatever else I can get my crafty little fingers on. This is FlossTube number 86, and today is April 18th, 2025. So, how about we get started, shall we? Hold 1 second. Sorry about that. I heard something fall, and come to find out it was things that I needed filled. So anyway, let's get started, shall we? First of all, I'm going to start with my Easter egg, because that's for the color pink for the month of April. April's prompt is in the color by stitch, or stitch by color, is an Easter or a spring whip, or something Easter or something spring, or both. And this I got from, I think, Tinsel CrossStitch. I don't have a picture of it, but you can pretty much get the gist of it. Here it is. This is my little Easter egg. This is done in a sulky. I do believe the color is called Berry. And I want to finish this weekend. All I need is to get the other bunny in and put the other plant here, and then do the bottom, and I'm all done. And then I will do another one. I'm trying to get a bunch of small things complete for holidays and whatnot, gifts and so on and so forth. So there is my Easter egg, and I got 205 stitches done on that this week. I already had over 200 done. So yeah. The other thing I worked on was I started Sophie's Sheep. This is from Plum Street Sampler. This is Sophie's Sheep. I love this little one. It is so cute. Ever since I've seen it, I wanted to do it. So finally I decided that I was going to start it. I'm doing this on 18 count Picture This Plus Havisham using the DMC conversion. So, because it basically, the flosses that they used for this model were sampler, gassed Gentle Art sampler threads. I'm just doing it in the DMC. And I think it looks just as nice. I mean, yeah, there's a little bit more, you know, there may be a little bit more variegation in it with using the fancier stuff, but I love it. I love it just the way it is. And I worked on this a little bit today. So when I started it, I got 267 stitches. And today I did 132. So that brings me to 399 stitches total. I need 700. I love the way the flowers are, I love all the colors just jumping right off this fabric. And you can see the purple and the cream. And that black, just, it looks awesome. It looks absolutely awesome. So, this is my new start. And I put it on my goal to be completed goal board. I'll show you that in a minute. But I did do a couple of my goals to get them up to their goals. So we got Sophie's Sheep. Now, I did have a new start, and why I don't know, and I ended up having to start it again because it did not download correctly into Pattern Keeper. So all that work that I did, and I spent all day working on it, I had to trash, and I wasn't thrilled about it. But now I have the right one, the correct one. So and this is from Miss Pettgotty, and it is the Mad Hatter. Oh, there we go. This is the Mad Hatter from Miss Pettgotty. You saw my Cheshire Cat, but I'm going to be restarting that one and restarting my Stained Glass Bee because both of them are wrong, completely wrong. And I have no idea where I goofed, but they're just going to get UFO'd and restarted. So I'm doing this on a 25 count, easy count Ugana. And I don't like having these part threads, but I'm dealing with them. And I got 200 stitches out of 2,500. So just upper left corner start. So I worked on the one that I started all day yesterday and then realized it was wrong and had to UFO it and start all over again. So I only got 200 stitches in, which is fine. I am, as you can see, I am doing this in a diagonal, and hopefully I will, you know, be able to get some more work on this. This is going to be a Wednesday, Wonderland Wednesday stitch. Maybe not every week, but it will be a Wonderland Wednesday stitch. Okay, so that's the Mad Hatter. Alright, the other thing I worked on, and I got my goal completed, was Spring Awakens. I needed 212 stitches on this. I also put it down as it's pink, so oops, that's not the one. Summer. Yes. Nope, it's autumn. It's winter. Spring. So here is Spring Awakens. I got 212 stitches on this. I jumped around a little bit because I just felt like it. I wanted to get work on something other than just blue. So this is how far I got. I got part of the flower in the brown. I did work on some of the blue here. I still have to put leaves on it, and I did another twist of the ribbon, and I added this, and I've got to finish up this twist of the ribbon. And I started working on the box, and then there's another flower right here that I have to put in. I hope to work on this again a couple of times. We'll see what May holds, and take it from there. So there's that. I mean, I like it, it's just the fabric right now is a little too stiff still, so I'm trying to loosen it up a little bit. Not doing all that successful in it. That or the winter, the summer and the fall one actually aren't all that bad. So Spring Awakens, I got, like I said, I got 212 stitches on that one. Oh, didn't work on that one. I put a bunch of stuff on here that I didn't work on, and I feel kind of bad about it, but here's what it is. Okay, the other one that I worked on, since Sunday was the 13th of the month, I thought it would be a good idea to do some spooky stitching, so I did. And I really enjoyed myself there. So one of the things that I worked on was I got my what was it? I worked on my woodcut raven number 2, and the goal for that was 600 stitches. Oops, that's not it. So I put in 260 stitches, and this is from PandoraXstitch on Etsy. I just have to find it. That's Gothic Authors. Don't want that one. It's Raven Coven. And this is the mock-up. I love him. I literally love him. I did have a picture, but I don't have the thing. So it's a little messy at this point, but this is how much I got done. So the next time I pick this up will be another 600 stitches. So I think this may or may not be a Halloween stitch for the 31st or for the 13th of every month. I don't know yet. We'll see. So I didn't work on that one. Woodcut Raven, 260 spring movements. Okay. The next one I worked on was last Friday. I haven't worked on it yet this Friday. But it's up to 844 stitches. Just have to find it. There it is. Here's Dobby. So here's how much I got done. Now I need to finish up this space here, and if I add one more block, that'll be 1,000. So I'm going to finish up this one today, I hope, and work on 2 more, and or maybe, yeah, if I finish up this one, I'll make it 900, and then 10, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yes. If I can get, because I need 1,800 stitches. So I'm going to be working on that one a few days next week too, I hope. So Dobby got 844 stitches last Friday. And then, what did I work on? For Wonderland Wednesday, I worked on We're All Mad Here. This is also gold. So, I think it was 600 stitches I was supposed to get, complete, full. I ended up getting 173, which brought me up to 665. Sorry about the glare. And what did I do? Okay, for this one, and I'm doing this on an 18 count, picture this plus vellum. And it looks really cool on this. So I worked on the stems and the leaf and got the little, that's a little drink me bottle. The next time I work on it, because this is only 100 stitches. No, this is 600 stitches. So yeah, the next time I work on this, I'll get whatever. And since I'm only working on my Alice in Wonderlands on Wednesday for now, they're not, it's not that they're not going as fast as I'd like them to, but it, you know, it is what it is. Alright, what's the next one? Oh, this was the 100 stitch Wednesday Wonderland. This is a Jardin Prive, and I don't know how to speak French. I know bonjour, au revoir, ouais, and that's about it. This is the Alice Snow Globe. I'm still working on Alice. I got 106 stitches, so we're up to 216 stitches, I believe. Doing this on a Picture This Plus jade. And here, I got her face in, some of her face. I still need to put in her eyes and her nose. But her hair is almost done. Her face is almost done. And since this is only 100 stitches, I might turn it into a 100 stitch a day stitch. I don't know. I've got some other stuff that needs to be done first. So that might become a thing. So that's that. The other thing I worked on for Motif Monday. Nope, that's not it. Is my Christmas sampler. I think this is Daily Pattern Post. I'm doing this in 931. There it is. Here we go. See it a little bit. This is going to be a big one, and I think I have to get 1100 stitches on it. Whoops, I need to see that again. And out of 28,230 stitches. I've got 656. I'm at 2.32. I'm at 2.32% on this one. And I did fix this part, this side, and I put in the bell, and I'm putting in the flower and that motif, and I have half of this motif done. I have to finish this one, and there are a few more snowflakes next to the bell, and then I'm going to try to finish this motif here. I have to get 1100, and I think a little over 5 should do it. And I'm doing this on a 25 count stormy night from, I have no idea where I got it. It's 25 count even weave. It's a Lugana, and I'm doing it 1/1. I can do 1/1 on 25 count. I can do 1/1 on 28 count. I might, if I had stronger magnification, be able to do 1/1 on 32 count. But I'm not trying it. Not yet, anyway. Like I said, the only color I'm using is 931 because I like the color. And it pops on the gray. So I got 370 stitches done on that. 106 an ounce. And we're moving on. Alright. So this is the one I'm going to restart, which is the bee, stained glass bee. Then I worked on Knock Knock. I did 100 stitches on this, right? Yes, I did 115 stitches on this for the K in basket. I'm doing this on a 16 count, I think, lamb's wool. And I did the pumpkin here, and I started doing the house here. This is also slated for finish, so I need to really get my button here and work some more on this. That would probably be a good 100 stitch a day. Then, because I worked on my letters, I did 206 stitches on my executioner's block. Oh, is that right? No, it's upside down. So I put in this thing here, the what looks like to be a key with a skull. So I did there. And, you know, I don't work on these things for a while, and then I get back to them, and I'm like, but I'm not monogamous. I've tried to be. Like yesterday, I was very monogamous, and look where that got me. So I'm not trying not to be that anymore. Okay, so that is 206 stitches on that one. And then double checking. Okay. So the other thing I worked on is Victor. Let me in. Because this is definitely slated for finish. I haven't worked on this for a while. So I got 472 stitches done in 2 days. And the bat body, not the bag that is right here, but the wings, the feet, are completely done. And he's done, I think, on a 16 count water loomy. And here's Victor. Look at him. He's so cute. Here he is. Look at him. I worked on him today. So I'm going to try. I'm really going to put a good effort into doing 100 stitches a day on him until he's done. And then I'm going to move to either the geometric fox or the judge knot and work on those. So, yeah. So those are all my whips for this week. Just double check, make sure I didn't forget anything here. Nope. Okay. Now I did write out some plans. Plan number 1 or goal number 1 is to finish my Easter egg. That should be easy enough. I need to work on Judge Knot and Let Me In. On Motif Monday, I need to work on the Christmas Quaker. That's a given. But there's a couple others that I'm putting on here. Whether I work on them or not, I don't know. One of them is the Gobble Couple, and that's the native couple, and I've got 623 stitches on that, and I need to get 1,000. The other is the Winter Quaker. I need to try to get 800 done on that one, and I need to finish the 2,000 on the Thanksgiving Quaker, but that involves frogging. Okay, so for Wonderland Wednesday, I'm going to work on my snow globe. I'm going to work on the Mad Hatter and try to get at least 1,000 stitches done on that one. Work on the Wonderland teacups. Finish a cup or 2. And work on Alice's Mad Plant. Put in another stem, put in another flower, maybe do the bunny one or something to that effect. Okay, so on Friday, work on Dobby. I have to work on Dobby today. I'm going to try to get 5% to 5% on my ghosts, my cute ghosts. Try to get another 900 stitches in on Alice and the Leap Hairs, and possibly work on the Woodcut Raven. Those are just, things that I'm throwing out. Whether I work them or not, my plans are kind of loose. I need to start the old Gobbles. I don't need to, but I'd like to. So that would be 1,000 stitches, and it's also a Quaker, or where it has motifs, like the little turkey bodies are a motif, then that qualifies for Motif Monday. And then I think I've spun the wheels for different ones for May. I'm not quite sure yet. I have to work on the letters A, B, R, U, and Y. The I Spy, I think what I'm going to do with the I Spy is the A is, has to be earth tones is the prompt in I Spy. So the A is autumn acorn. So if I can get 400 stitches done on that, that would be great. The B is something mythical. Well, the prompt for I Spy is something mythical. So the B is Book of Frost Dragons. Do I want to do 400 stitches on that? Maybe. I don't know yet. The R, I thought about starting Red Fox, but I think I'm going to complete the goal for Rudolph peeking. Which is what? 761 stitches for Rudolph peeking. So we'll see. Let's see. The U would be unicorn. That I could also do for mythical creature. And Y would be the yellow beach house, and beach houses are near water. Or I could do my pirate snowman, which has water in it. That would be a new start. And that would be 200 stitches, so that wouldn't actually be all that bad. And considering they're 500 stitches a piece, might work out. And I want to get my Sophie sheep from $3.99 to $700, so that's 301 stitches. So, things are kind of loose right at the moment. Working on more goals than finishes, even though I need to get my 25 for 25. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. Here it is April, and I've only got 4 done. So I may just get as many finishes as I can get done. I'm not focused on finishes as much as I was last year. And it didn't do me any good anyway, because I ended up with more whips than I started with. So, hello. Hi. You come to visit. You want to say hi to the peoples? Say hi, Miss Peaches. And I'm starting more things, so that's why I started doing the days of the week and picking out one project for each day that I have a, like Motif Monday, picking out a project for the month. Wonderland Wednesday, picking out a project for the month. Full Coverage Friday, picking out a project for the month. And I do remember what I spun for Full Coverage Friday, but I think I'm going to respin for a minute, because I'm very frustrated with the Cheshire Cat from Miss Pettgotty, and I'm very frustrated with the stained glass bead, because I put a lot of work in those, and there's a mistake, and I can't find it. So I think from now on, all my full coverages are going to be done at 1/1 on 25 count. I think. So I'm frustrated with everything. So I'm frustrated with that anyway. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do yet as far as they are concerned, but I will figure something out. Excuse me. Now, I did get some stash. And like I said, the only thing I've been ordering is threads and floss and fabric. Even though yesterday I had to reorder or re-download after I paid for it again, was the Mad Hatter from Miss Pettgotty. And finally got the right one. And I'm glad I did, because I had the whole wrong color scheme and everything. How that happened, I have no idea. We're back. We have it. We're good. So, I am part of the Forbidden Fiber Company Floss of the Month Club, Fabric Club, and this is called Hyacinth. It is a beautiful purple. I love it. I literally love it, and this came today. It's an 18 count Hyacinth. Not quite sure what I'm going to do, but I think there are a few samplers, and from Jardin Prive, the season samplers, and Laura from Stitching by the Shore did all 4 of them. I'm actually thinking about, doing all 4 of them on one on each, a different floss, different fabric, different color fabric, and using them, making them monochromatic. I'm not going to use the same floss for all 4 of them. I might use a different one, like something dark. But see, my Achilles, for Laura from Stitching by the Shore, her Achilles heel is fabric. My Achilles heel is variegated floss. I love variegated floss. It's my all-time favorite. For like the spring, I'd use a green variegated floss. For the summer, I would use a light purple, dark purple, something to that effect. So this one might be for the summer. For fall, I could do a brown or a tan neutral color and use, like an orange variegated. And for the winter, some blue, some sort of blue with a bluish white kind of variegated floss. But that's me. That's how I like to do things. I like the floss to be the star, and I like to see the floss pop on the fabric. That's why I love this Havisham, and I might end up getting some more. And so when I got my thing, my fabric of the month, they sent one of a kind floss. And it is a blue with purple accents. This doesn't show up very well here. Oh, maybe a little bit. And this is a one of a kind. It's got six yards approximately, and it is one of a kind 43, and it is like a beige, gray, whitish, off-white kind of color. And I don't know what I'm going to use these for, but it's going to be something probably small because there's really not enough to do anything big on. And then I ordered some new fabric, and I absolutely love this one. This is a 16 count cauldron. You can picture this plus. And I have a couple, I have a few Halloween things that I think would go good on this. I also got a 16 count piece of Monster Mash. I have a Witchy Stitcher one that would look great on this. And for the rest of my Snow Village, I got a 1/4 of a yard of 16 count Snow on Aqua from Fabric Flare. And I decided to try this out because basically I'm doing 1/1 on Lugana anyway. So this is a 1/16 of a yard of 20 count mushroom Lugana. And it's very pretty and unusual, and I know a lot of people use mushroom, and vintage country mocha is a staple as far as neutrals are concerned. So I decided I was going to try this and see how it works. I don't know what I'm going to put on it yet, but I will figure something out. So that's all my stash. Okay, and then the other thing that I wanted to do is I added a couple more things to my board and took off the things that I'm not going to do. So, Sophie's Sheep, we need 301 stitches. The Christmas Sampler, I'm going to have to figure that one out. The Mad Hatter, we need 2,300 more stitches. The Native Gobbles, we need 377 stitches to make the 1,000. Dobby needs 956. The QS Alice, we need 1,795 stitches. And for Rudolph Peking, we need 761 stitches. And those goals, all those goals will be complete. So, am I giving up on my stitch work? No. I'm not. I might be giving up on my stitch by color. Because, I don't know. I like doing it kind of, but on the flip of the coin, nah. So I might just give that up. Because in July I want to do Jingle Jangle July, which is basically my version of Christmas in July. So that might include advent stitching, it might include ornament stitching. On the 25th of the month, am I going to be doing a Christmas thing? I might. I don't know. I have too many ideas that are going through my head right now. And I really need to, just, stitch on things that are, that I need to work on. Like a few finishes. Because my whip parade, if I do a mid-year whip parade, I'm going to have a lot. And it's going to be like hours. I know the one whip parade I saw from Justin Marie Does Stuff was 4 hours. But I loved every minute of it. I really did. I really loved it. So, anyway. So, I have constructed some more goals. I've gone through all the whips that I am presently working on and tried to get all the goals, and then I'll add more when I get some more of those done. I'll erase them, put them on my goals completed board, which are these. Whoop. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 goals completed. And then when I have this all filled up, we start again with a whole bunch more. I might, I'm not really changing my plans up because I still have my, my Motif Mondays, my Wonderland Wednesdays, my Full Coverage Fridays. I want to keep that the way it is. But I might have, some focus weekends coming up. I have yet to do my 24 hours of cross-stitch music challenge, which I might wait until May to do that. But basically what I would, if you care to join me in that musical challenge, pick out, you know, 4 or 5 songs that you want to do, and you can either do them, like say you pick I had a song in my head, but I couldn't remember the name of it. Say you pick a song like Welcome to the Jungle by Guns N' Roses, and you decide to work on a full coverage that has something to do with the jungle. And say Welcome to the Jungle is 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Now, with a full coverage I wouldn't do this, but it's an option. You could either do 330 stitches on it, or you could work on that full coverage for 3 hours and 30 minutes. So, what I was thinking about doing was starting a Thursday morning, ending a Sunday afternoon, so that's 4 days. So say we start at 11 o'clock Thursday morning, and fire engine going by the house. Say we start at 11 o'clock on a Thursday morning, and one of the songs that I picked out was Come a Little Bit Closer. Come a little bit closer, you're my kind of man, so big and so strong. And that's, I don't know, 3 minutes. Now I could do 300 stitches on whatever I picked to go with that song. Now that song reminds me of Guardians of the Galaxy, which is the Marvel movie. So I might work on something space related, or something that's, near and dear to my heart. Something like that. Or work on, like, say, the Mad Hatter, because the song is crazy. But I love it. So yeah. Or if I had a Groot, the little tree character in Guardians of the Galaxy, Groot, then I would work on that for, say, 300 stitches or 3 hours, depending upon what I felt like doing. Basically what I was thinking about doing was just picking a song, seeing how long it was, and then seeing what grabbed my attention as far as my works are concerned. I do the same thing with movies. If I'm working on something that's Alice in Wonderland, I will watch Alice in Wonderland. If I'm working on something that is science fiction, I will watch a science fiction movie that I like. If I'm working on, something that has ghosts, or mystical creatures, or something to that effect, there are a couple movies that are my go-tos. Any of the Harry Potters, except for the last couple. The last two I didn't like. Or the Fantastic Beasts. It's like a Harry Potter spin-off. I'll watch one of those. Or if I'm working on something, like that's kind of on the spooky side, or Halloween-y, or vampire-ish, I will watch, like, Underworld. Which is about the vampires and the Lycans having a feud. Or Van Helsing, or something to that effect. I mean, it's like a fantasy thing. Anything fantasy, I will watch something like that. Do I have very many fantasy stitches? No, I don't. But it's okay. It doesn't mean I can't get some more, or I can't find some more. Alright, and then I got some Happy Mail. And I'm loving this. I had sent Laura from Stitching by the Shore. She does ATT swaps, which is artist trading card swaps. And I had sent her and the thing was something that your state is famous for. Alright, well, everybody knows that if you want a good lobster, you gotta go to Maine. It's just the way it is. And I live in Maine. The state animal is a moose. The state bird is a chickadee. The state tree is a pine. So I sent Laura 2 ATCs. One was a moose. It was, if you've ever seen those little Darling and Whimsy quirky Quaker things, they have an animal in the middle and then they have like a Quaker around them. Quaker thing around them. So I just took the moose from the moose one and I did it on a 20 count, so it was 1/1, and it fit the 2.5 by 3.5 ATC size. I did the same thing with a lobster. 2.5 by 3.5. It fit perfectly on 20 count, 1/1. So she sent me 2, and I got them today. This is the Purple Columbine. This was adapted from Louisa Designs. It was stitched by a lady named Melissa. And she's from Colorado. I'm not sure which way it goes, but I get it pumped that it goes this way. Isn't that cute? I think it's beautiful. And then the other one was from Deborah. It was designed in 1947. This was designed in 1947. The construction began on February 12th, 1963 and was completed by October 28th, 1965. It opened to the public on June 10th, 1967. It is the gateway to the West, and it's 630 feet high, and this is the St. Louis Arch. Isn't that cool? That is so cool. I love it. I've got to find a spot to put these. Where my craft room is a mess right at the moment, I definitely need to find a spot to put them. So that was my happy mail. Was there anything else I wanted to go over? I don't think so. I was thinking that for the I Spy challenge, you have earth tones, which is going to be here it is. Automate ones. Blue flower. So if I do this for the I Spy plus the letter A in both Easter and basket, then I'd need 400 stitches. And it's doable. Usually on the weekends, that's when I work on my words. And here's my starting point, and this is done on an 18 count piece of fiber on a whim, cream and sugar that I got from Love from Stitchery. So if I did, you know, like 2 more acorns and maybe some more of the border, you know, that could give me my 400. So that's what I'm going to do there. For the B in Basket and Bunny, I am going to work on Haunted Frames by Amanda Elliott, the Book of Frost Dragons. Now I have a fox one, I have a poison one, a few others I'm going to get. This one, though, I goofed on, but I'm not taking it out. I'm just going to kind of finagle it the best way I can, because I know where I goofed and I really don't want to take all that out. So, I need 200 stitches for the letter B's, and for the mythical creature on I Spy, I would need another 200. So I need 400 stitches on this one. I might work on the second half of the book. And that might give me my 400 stitches. Because doing the little things around them, these little doohickeys here, they don't add up to much. So. And I think this page, aside from the back stitch, is pretty much all done. So. And I did this on a tealish fabric that I dyed myself. So there's that. And I want to get this finished. So, and there's that. And then the R. Let's see somewhere. That's all right. Oh, it's right here. For the R, it would be Rudolph Peking. Like I said, I thought about starting the Red Fox. I still want to start it because I saw it yesterday, almost done, on Facebook, and it was gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So, I think I might have a piece of 25 count. That's big enough to do it. Alright, yeah, Rudolph Peking. He's back here. He's at the top. Here he is. This is Rudolph Peking. So, I need to do 100 stitches. I only have one R, and that's on Easter. But if I do a little bit of extra, like maybe a couple hundred stitches, then that would bring my goal down a little bit more. This would be my starting point. Alright. And I also want to work on Harry Potter. I haven't worked on Harry Potter in a while, because that was my snow day stitch. But we have no more snow as far as I know. I might just work on it a couple times a month and use it for any stitch awards I may or may not have. And then the other thing I want to work on, and I don't have a picture for this one, but this is the Nevermore Quaker, and I'd love to work on it more. This is done on a 25 count vintage Stormy Night. And I'm using the called for fancy floss. Maybe not fancy floss, but the called for flosses. And I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. I want to get this out again so bad. This is the first thing I've ever done 1/1 in 25 count that I've actually had success with. So I might, pick this up on Monday and work on it a little bit. But yeah, I'm using the called for flosses. Which are Classic Colorworks, Weeks Dye Works, and one Thread Gatherer's Silken Colors. That's called Slug Bug. And believe it or not, if you like to use the fancy floss and where you only need, if you're doing one strand, 1/1, then this would probably go for a long way. So, I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, I want to work on that one again, and I also have to work on my carrot market because it's an Easter piece, so I need to get another 200 stitches in this. Jardin Prive's carrot market. I love it. It is so cute. And I am very, pleased at how quickly this is actually going. Once you get started on it, it goes very, very quickly. That's how much I've gotten done. So, I love the daffodils. To me, when I first see daffodils, I know spring is finally here. And I have some that have bloomed on the side of my house. And the ones that are across from my kitchen window, they have not, one of them has bloomed. So I end up wish listing some full coverages of daffodils on Etsy. I think they were from Pink Lily. I love her stuff. So I think what I'm going to do is I might respin my wheels for May. I don't know yet. One of the ones I spun for a finish was dog lessons. So yeah, I might just keep that one up there. I have to figure out 100 stitch a day. I think for right now it may be Victor, let me in, trying to get that done. Work on, am I going to work on a full coverage day? Probably not. I'd like to, but where I did not start my day with a full coverage, I may not work on a full coverage today. I'm not quite sure yet. But my full coverage for the month of May is Stained Glass Bee. I have a couple others. I might just do the others. We've got a couple of weeks, so if you have a preference, please let me know on which one you think I should do. Let's see if I can find them. Alright, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Okay. Here they are. Okay, this is one of them. And it's done in blues and purples. Let me try again. It just says Stained Glass Bee PDF. But as you can see, there's a lot of blues and purples. And it's done in the round. I might be able to figure it out. The other one is done in pinks, purples, and blues. I think I like the colors of this one more. So if you'd like to vote, vote Stained Glass Bee Pink and Stained Glass Bee Blue, and I'll know which one it is. If not, there is one more thing that I might want to start. This is by Lena Olva, and it is the Mad Tea Party. And there it is. It's all one color. I love it. I do. So, if you have a choice of 3, there's the stained glass bead that's blue. It's got shades of blue. This stained glass bead that's got shades of pinks. And the Mad Tea Party. So, if not, I'll just pick something myself and say, okay, this is going to be for me. So yeah. But other than that, I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. Please be safe. Get outside if you can. You know, if it's nice where you are, or if it's going to be nice where you are. The past couple weekends in New England have been very wet. Very gross. We had snow last weekend. It's great. And if you celebrate Easter, I hope you have a good one. So, keep on stitching on, everybody.